Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about Kaohsiung Formosa incident. On the International Human Rights Day on December 10, 1979, non-party activists with members of Formosa magazine organized mass demonstrations and speeches on December 10th, appealing for democracy and freedom, and ending party ban and martial law. So, here's how the story began. In 1979, during the White Terror period in Taiwan, a man called Huang Xingjie founded the Formosa magazine for the purpose to propaganda freedom and democracy concept to Taiwanese citizens. But because it was during martial law period, publish something like that wasn't allowed by the Chinese Nationalist Party. So, at magazine's inauguration ceremony, a group of divergent people came to the hotel's door to provoke and make trouble. In the 2 months after the magazine's launch, the publisher's house and magazine office were also repeatedly harassed and threatened. The Formosa magazine has been grudged with the Chinese Nationalist Party for a long time, and the antagonism continues to rise. On November 30, an application was formally submitted to the first branch of Kaohsiung City to hold a march in the afternoon of December 10th, but it has not been approved by the government. After many failed attempts, non-party members decided to hold a march in Kaohsiung as planned. On the same day, 2 volunteers of Formosa magazine, Yao Guojian and Qiu Shengxiong, were arrested, beaten, and tortured by police when they handed out leaflets to announce the next day's activities. The Formosa Island staff immediately went to the police office to ask for the release of people after learning the news. Until the next morning, the 2 were released. This incident are well known as Gusan incident. The Gusan incident caused public anger, indignation. Non-party personages who had not planned to participate in the march also rushed to Kaohsiung for the march. At 6 p.m. on December 10th, the march set out. At the same time, the Chinese Nationalist Party has sent up anti-riot forces trying to stop the protest going. As the original assembly site has been blocked, the procession can only temporarily change the venue. After Huang Xingjie arrived at the protest spot, he first made a speech to the public, but soon the procession was surrounded by riot police. Shi Mingde and Yao Jiawen came forward to negotiate with the police, asking the police to allow them to gather at the original place until 11 p.m. and withdraw the anti-riot forces. But all these requests were rejected. At 8:30 p.m., the police broke out of control of the gas blast. At around 10 o'clock, the police sent additional police forces, and there was a conflict between the 2 sides. After the incident, the government began to hunt down non-party people. On February 20, 1980, the General Police Military Law convicted Huang Xingjie, Shi Mingde, Zhang Junhong, Yao Jiawen, Lin Yixiong, Chen Ju, Lü Xiulian, Lin Hongxuan for the crime of rebellion, and more than 30 other people were persecuted in ordinary courts. With the assistance of Zhang Deming and others, the defendant began to hire defense lawyers and finally formed a 15-member lawyer team, with 2 lawyers for each defendant to assist in his defense. In the final verdict, all 8 people were guilty. Shi Mingde was sentenced to life imprisonment. Huang Xingjie was sentenced to 40 years in prison, and the remaining 6 people were sentenced to 12 years in prison. The Formosa Island incident is a historical event in Taiwan society from closed to open. This incident has had a dramatic impact on Taiwan society in terms of politics, society, and culture. In view of this incident, I think the action of non-party members are too radical. And if the practice action is eased down a little, the government may agree with the people's demand. At least we can have a good and peaceful negotiation, which will not cause unnecessary damage to both sides.
And that's the end of our report. Thanks for listening.